When it comes to creating a new Terraria world, one of the most important choices is selecting the wild evil, corruption or crimson. For some players, this comes down to which one they just prefer the look of. However, for most, it's all about the exclusive items. Picking a certain one might just give you an advantage at different parts of the game. The most noticeable difference between the two are the pre-hard mode bosses, each dropping a unique expert mode item. For years, it has been disputed which one is better, the Worm Scarf or the Brain of Confusion. The Worm Scarf has always dominated this battle, however, I believe this might not be the case anymore. Today, we're going to delve into each item's functionality and see how they compare nowadays, starting off with the Worm Scarf. The Worm Scarf is obtained from the Eater of Worlds treasure bag. In order to summon the Eater of Worlds, you need to head into your underground corruption biome and smash 3 shadow orbs. Remember, you can't just mine this stuff with a pickaxe until after defeating the boss, so for now, just use bombs. Before you smash all 3, make sure you make an arena on the surface, as it'll be much easier to fight up there than down below. When you're ready, destroy the 3rd orb and navigate your way quickly to the arena, which can sometimes be a nuisance. For the fight itself, I'd recommend using a good bow with Jester arrows. As Jester arrows infinitely pierce, this takes advantage of the multiple segments. In no time, the boss should split and it will be defeated. Open your treasure bag and collect your guaranteed Worm Scarf inside. The Brain of Confusion is obtained in a very similar way, except everything is a bit redder. Like last time, build yourself an arena before smashing the 3rd heart. However, I would personally keep this in the underground chamber, as it's very roomy and the Brain of Cthulhu doesn't need quite as much space as the Eater of Worlds. When you're ready, smash the final heart and get fighting. To deal with the creepers, I'd highly recommend using the quad-barreled shotgun, which can be crafted in the graveyard biome. This thing keeps the creepers away and quickly kills them all so you can focus on the brain itself. This thing should go down pretty quickly, as it's not made of a million segments like the Eater of Worlds. Open your treasure bag and get yourself that Brain of Confusion. Now then, it's time for the good stuff. Which one is better? As previously mentioned, the Worm Scarf has always been crowned the superior option due to having a fixed 17% damage reduction. This means that any damage taken will only deal 83% of the inflicted damage. Here you can see a Mimic dealing 103 damage with the Worm Scarf equipped, compared to when it is unequipped, dealing... With it unequipped, dealing a massive 143 damage. Now, on the Brain of Confusion side of things, this accessory gives the player a 1 in 6 chance of dodging an attack entirely. This means that 83% of the time, you take 100% damage. Interestingly, using the nature of probability, this works out about the same as the Worm Scarf. You may be thinking, so what? They're both as good as each other then? Well, not exactly, because the ability to negate an attack entirely introduces a handful of other perks that the Worm Scarf's damage reduction just doesn't have. For example, enemy debuffs become 1 in 6 times less effective, knockback is completely ignored on a dodge, and after dodging an attack, you receive a 10% crit bonus, which is just more damage for the player. Plus, you have the thing this accessory is actually designed for. It can apply the Confusion debuff onto nearby enemies when they land an attack, and it gets better. Although the Worm Scarf can technically synergize with other damage reducing items like endurance potions and beetle armor, this doesn't come close to the broken synergy of the Brain of Confusion with the Cross Necklace and the Black Belt. These 3 items work together in giving you maximum invulnerability between attack. Combine this with a constant source of low damage and you're essentially invincible. Even with all the damage reduction in the world, you just can't beat dodging attacks altogether, which is why I think the Brain of Confusion deserves a lot more recognition than it gets. What do you think? Do you prefer the Worm Scarf or the Brain of Confusion? Let me know if this video has changed your mind. Thanks for watching. For more Terraria content like this, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.